TxStampin Sharon. I have some happy cards to share with you today. I have fallen in love with so much happy. I hope that I inspire you. I hope that you enjoy the tips that I'm going to share on today's video. And then stay tuned for some more information. If you currently already don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd be honored to help you with your Stampin' Up! Supply needs. You can find out how to contact me, my website, everything in the description box below. Just click that Read More button. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so. You can do that below and then hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. Let's do some happy cards. If you want to make some happy cards, let me tell you, so much happy. And these dies, the happy dies, are so fun. I started making fall cards and grandkids cards, and I kept on going. And it was like, oh, what if I try this? Oh, what if I try that? So on today's video, I am pulling in another stamp set, Well Done, because this is going to be a birthday card for one of my grandkids. And I love the little sentiment. It said, hoping all your birthday fishes come true. Isn't that adorable? Now, I have 13 cards to show you today. 13, because I told you, I went crazy making these. So I pulled out the Whale of a Time Designer Series paper, perfect for kids. And it's really kids of all ages because, you know, they're bright colors and fun little images. So I had to play with this Designer Series papers. However, all my other cards uses different Designer Series papers. I can't wait to show them to you. Speaking of showing, here is the first card. And I already have this one in mind for which grandson's going to get it. But it could go either way for either a boy or a girl. So there you go. Hoping all your birthday fishes come true. There's that. And don't forget to stamp the envelope. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, these cards made me happy. So let's talk about my supplies. I cut this print from the Designer Series paper, and it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. My sentiment layers are 3/4 of an inch by 1 1/2, and then the Pacific Point is 1 inch by 1 3/4. I have a scrap of Pacific Point that I will be using to cut out my die. I have a layer of Whisper White that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. This will go on the inside of my card. I'm using a Pacific Point card base, and it is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. And then I have my envelope to decorate. So let's visit about the dies. I figured out, and you will see on all my other, I have 12 more cards to show you. I have figured out that if you want a skinny border, then you would cut your scrap to be 1 7/8 by the length of your card. So if it's 5 1/2, if your card base is 5 1/2, then you would probably do 5 1/4, whatever. If you don't cut the layer completely, you will have these cute little tabs on the side because they are still attached. On today's card, I'm actually going to be cutting off the bottom, but all my other cards, I left it. So you'll see what I mean about the width of the paper giving you the different border layers for your happy. Boy, I sure hope that makes sense. You'll see, you'll understand. This little die does cute little, almost like a cloud effect. You'll see that on some of my cards. Here's the string for the balloon. And of course we have our party banners. We have our 2 balloons. And then we have a little die that can be the bow tied to the string. Some tiny stars. You'll see that on one of my cards. I kind of went crazy, but you're gonna love it. And then of course a star. So super fun dies that, like I said, they just made me happy and I couldn't stop playing. Now I could leave the word happy like it is, But I wanted to show you how I made that card because I didn't want the words to cover up the cute little fishes. So that's why I cut it off. But you could, and this is what it would look like depending on which way you do it. So super fun, but we're going to go ahead and cut it off for this one. And we're actually going to have our little turtles going this way. So we're going to use our paper trimmer, and I am actually, you want to be able, let's see, let me do this. You want to be able to feel that gutter of the trimmer so that you're cutting off just the bottom. Otherwise, you might catch this piece just a hair, and it's kind of a pain to try to fix it. It could cause your letters to tear. So you do want to be able to see that gutter when you're putting it on the trimmer. And then it cuts it right off. So you can kind of see the nubs that are still left on there. It's best to do it that way than trying to catch it, catching this piece right here when you're cutting. I'm going to use Pacific Point to stamp my birthday. And the birthday is from So Much Happy stamp set. And while we have our ink pad out, we'll go ahead and use the sentiment for the inside. Hoping all your birthday fishes come true. And then we want to add some fishes. Let's do it this way this time. And then we're going to do our envelope. And I want to show you something. If you flip it around, the little fishies go the other way. I'm telling you, I just have been so happy with all of this. It's been super fun to play and be creative. And I sure hope that this video inspires you, especially when you see my other cards. And I am calling this 12 months of happy because I changed up like the designer series papers and things like that to give me a variety of birthday cards or cards throughout the year. So 12 months. There we go. Okay, so the hardest part for making this card is deciding which way you want the pattern to go. I want my fishies to be going this way. So we're gonna take the happy, and I needed to see where I want it to line up at. I kind of want it off to the side just a little bit. And also you want to see where you're going to put the sentiment layer. So we're going to go ahead and add that sentiment layer first. Okay, so we have our birthday, and we are going to be popping this up with dimensionals. I'm not going to quite add them yet because I want to use my layer as a cutting guide to know which side I need to snip off. So we're going to place our birthday down here. And then let's see. Can't go that far because we need it over here. I kind of like that where it's touching the Y. I think we're good. Okay. So we're going to make sure that it's lined up on the right. And then we're going to snip off. You will use your snips a lot with this die. It just makes it easier. All right, let's add our layer. And then we're actually going to be adding some glue dots to hold these letters down. If you want to do that first, you could, but it gets a little gummy. But just keep in mind, we are going to be sticking these down with some glue dots. Or while you have your liquid glue, if you're using liquid glue, you could easily just go ahead and do it with the glue. But you do want to stick these down because you don't want them to tear when you put them in the envelope or they're pulled out of the envelope. I did use the glue dots on my first one because I realized that my letters were kind of floating and I didn't want them to tear. The liquid glue does allow me to move it around the way I want. Look how cute that is for a kid of all ages. All right, let's add our sentiment layer. All right, let's add our insert that has our sentiment greetings inside. I can't wait. We're almost ready. I'm almost ready to show you my other cards, and they're so cute. I've got some masculine ones. I've got some for a Christmas birthday because we have so many Christmas birthdays in our family. All right, so happy birthday. So we have these two. Are you ready to see them all? Oh my gosh, they're so fun. Okay, how about this one? Stamped directly onto the Designer Series papers. So these cards, at first, I used playful patterns. But again, keep in mind, you can use any Designer Series paper to create your cards. You can just use the layout ideas for, and just adjust the colors to go with your Designer Series papers. Now, since I have 12 of these, I am offering these as a free tutorial if anyone in the United States, that is, purchases $50 on my website. What if you don't live in the US, or what if you don't want to purchase? I will be offering these on my website as a tutorial that you could purchase. I will have that information in the description box below. So there's that one. Cute, cute, cute. I mean, some of these look more for a little girl or some for a boy, but they're just happy cards. So all of those use Playing with Patterns, Designer Series papers. And then how about this one with the Forever Fern? And they're all done differently. So you will get step-by-step instructions in my tutorial. And then we needed some masculine cards. I used the Designer Series paper called In Good Taste. And you know, now that I'm back in Texas, I just had to pull in those stars that's in that stamp set. But there you go. That is the paper from In Good Taste as well. How about some fall cards? I needed 2 September birthday cards. And so here is the new Designer Series paper that's in the mini catalog, and it is the plaids. How about one for Christmas? Remember I told you I had Christmas birthdays. And then there's the glitter. There's the glimmery paper. You know, on a previous video, I had these balloons left over after showing you guys that card. And so all I did was cut this out and look at those tiny stars. I told you, they're tiny. And I just kept adding and adding. And you wouldn't have to do that many, but doesn't it make it a fun card? And then we have the new Balmy Blue Shimmery paper. And it's just, happy birthday. I mean, it just shines. I hope that you enjoyed all of the cards that I shared with you today because there was a lot. But again, it made me happy. This is my happy class. So happy stamping, y'all.